come on in. Go ahead and come on in. Hey guys. Hey. Happy Wednesday. Every time I see that that comment, hey auntie, I just be dying laughing. I cannot with y'all. I really cannot. I really cannot with y'all. How you guys doing? How you guys doing on this fine Wednesday? So let me go ahead and drop a quick gem for you guys, okay? If you guys have a nonprofit, okay? A nonprofit, I will recommend that you open a bank with First Citizen, okay? First Citizen has some options, all right? But if you guys have a nonprofit, I recommend opening a bank account with First Citizens because First Citizens also offer grants for nonprofits, okay? And because they offer grants to nonprofit, they work with the community just like any other big retailer bank, as far as working with the community, but they're more of like a boutique type of bank. So they'll have more options for you when it comes to getting grants through them and then grants coming into the account because it's a nonprofit, they know that the dollar amount for grants will kind of, be big, small, whatever. So I highly recommend, if you guys have a nonprofit, I'll recommend First Citizens Bank, okay? I literally just came from First Citizen Bank earlier today, and for the most part, it was a good bank. So if you guys do have that, I'll highly recommend that you guys open an account with them. Okay? All right. So let me tell y'all. Y'all know it's at the end of the year. So these dealerships are like really, what is happening with my shirt? Hold on, y'all. All right now. Yeah. So it's the end of the year. And these dealerships, when I say they are aggressive, right? So I want you guys to understand that even though that they are aggressive, you have to be even more calm and collective. All right? So some of you guys actually saw that when I was literally on live, I was talking about the one guy from the dealership that kept reaching out to me, right? Because at the end of the year, they got to meet quarters. It's slow because of this quote unquote recession or whatever is happening, right? So y'all, he is still reaching out to me. To the point now where he's sending me like all different type of cars, all different types of options. And the biggest thing here is that in this particular situation, because I clearly have the upper hand, all right? In this particular situation, I have to act so unbothered, even though I am unbothered, right? But I have to act so unbothered with, the stuff that he's sending me, the information that he's sending me, the cars that he's sending me. And most importantly, stand my ground with not going into the dealership. So let me tell you guys how these dealerships are super slick, all right? So the same guy reaching out to me, still reaching out to me. He reached out to me, I believe it was yesterday, again, right? After like a 2-day gap or a 3-day gap, he reached out to me again, and he just keep reaching out. So he asked me if I was still in the market to, purchase more cars, and I was like, absolutely. So he's like, what if I can get you this car at MSRP? And he just left it as that, right? So one thing y'all have to understand about business people, and just for you guys, for yourself, when it comes to operating business, every message, every situation, that, I'll just say every message, right? Every message that come through, you guys have to literally say what you need to say. because it comes off sometimes as you guys wasting people time. And that's literally what I said to the dealership, right? And this is for you guys just in general. Like, even till now, a lot of you guys reach out to me and you guys are like, hi. What am I supposed to say? Hi back? Right? If you're going to shoot your shot, and I don't mean shoot your shot like in trying to get to know somebody, but shoot your shot into possibly seeing if this person is going to reply to your DMs. Because you guys have to understand, none of these coaches, none of these people in the industry, they don't owe you guys anything. They don't owe you guys no response. They don't owe you guys anything, right? But if you're going to shoot your shot, shoot your shot. Don't jump in somebody's DM and just say hi. Or don't say, hey, I got a question. Can I ask you a question? Because you have to understand, I have to come to my DM to read this message anyways. So if I'm reading something that says, can I ask you a question? That's like a waste of my scrolling through, right? I got over 100 and some DMs I got to respond to. And here you come, hi, or can I ask a question? If you're going to shoot your shot, right? Because the probability is 50-50. The person is either going to get back to you or the person is going, whatever, however the case is, right? So that's just a little tip for y'all. So with this particular guy from the dealership now, somebody said LOL. This particular guy from the dealership now, he messaged just that. And then I said to him, I said, you do understand that you are wasting my time, right? I said, because the fact that I have to pick up my phone and read, and you're not telling me nothing. You just said, if I can get you the card MSRP. When you're dealing with people in business, and he know I'm in business, right? Tell me what it is. Hey, because I already answered his question, because he said, are you still in the market of looking for cars? Yes, I'm still in the market, right? That was a great question. His follow-up message was like, well, if I can get you this at this, no, he's like, if I can get you the car at MSRP, what do you think? What? How about, okay, great. I have this car, this color, this price, this so-and-so, right? And that way now I have all the information to now and determine if I want to move forward with that car. So he didn't do that. So my message back to him was like, hey, you do realize right now that you're wasting my time, right? Because like you're messaging me just to get a response. So you're getting a response, but you're not telling me anything. He was like, oh no, that's not the case. Not trying to waste your time. He's like, but I will keep that in consideration. and that was it. So I said, okay, but you still didn't tell me anything, right? So then he goes, no, absolutely, I just got a little busy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm watching his text and I'm just like, I said this to him, y'all, like I'm very honest. I said that to him. I said, if you're going to sell me, sell me. I said, right now you're not selling me. Right now you're kind of wasting my time because I have things to do. And now I have to pick up my phone to see if, to see what it is that you're saying to me. If you're going to sell me, sell me. Sell me. Don't like halfway or 20% say something and then you got me waiting for the extra 80%. He was like, oh, no, I apologize. I will keep that in mind moving forward. So eventually he sent me the information, right? And then he sent me a few more cars. And basically now he going back to the over MSRP. I said, so what made you think, in the beginning when we first started talking about transactions, right? I advised you from the very beginning, I'm not paying nothing over MSRP. Listen to what you're saying to me, sir. I am not paying over MSRP. So one of the cars actually that he sent me was, I want to say it was like $5,000 over MSRP. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I don't care if it's $1 over MSRP. I'm not paying over MSRP, right? So it's actually something that I just learned today myself too. The reason that they try to sell us over MSRP, because they make more money, right? They make more money commission-wise when they sell us over MSRP. But we're literally at the end of the year where we, it's not even consumer, because that's not we're not doing personal. We as the business owners, we have all the power. These people want to get these cars out. They want to get these cars out. So it is literally, and it's also the same thing with the housing market right now, right? Because I'm paying attention. And these prices on these houses are dropping, guys. When I tell you guys super fast, I mean super fast. Okay. Now, same exact thing with the dealership, right? You have the you have the power to basically get the cars at MSRP or less. You just have to know what to do, right? So then he switched to one of the cars, or the colors were super nice. I was like, nope, I'm not paying $5,000 over MSRP. So then he switched to saying, okay, no problem. My manager wants you to come in, and I'm sure that he can probably give you for $3,500 over MSRP. So it went from $5,000 to $3,500 over MSRP. Once again, wasting my time. I'm not paying anything over MSRP. He says, okay, no problem. But okay, still come in tomorrow. My manager wants you to come in tomorrow. What time are you available? We're here from 10 to 4. I am not interested in coming down to your dealership until I get an approval. You already know this. It's like, I don't understand why is it that you keep trying to sell me. You keep trying to get me to come down to your dealership. I am not doing it, right? I'm not doing it. No, I'm not super busy, but I'm not doing it. Here's the deal. The next time you message my phone, make sure that you give me all the details, because I'm going to block you the next time. Give me all the details, okay? No, I'm not coming down to your dealership. I will see you at your dealership once your manager runs the approval. So here's the thing. I understand now why he wanted me to come down to the dealership tomorrow. Because his manager is not in. The person that runs the business application is not in today. That person is available tomorrow. Oh, so you thought you were slick, right? So y'all just have to understand how these people are operating right now. They are literally, y'all, thirsty for y'all services. You guys literally hold all the cards. You hold all the cards. You just have to play your hand right. The more you play your hand, the better the outcome is. Going down to the dealership wastes your time, because you see, everything that he's doing me through text message, I'm doing it through the comfort of my home. Imagine going down to the dealership and they're doing the same exact thing with you, and you sitting there waiting, right? Because first you will come back and say, the vehicle is at this price, it's whatever, $40,000 over MSRP. No, I'm not paying that. And now you're sitting in the dealership, and this is how y'all end up sitting in the dealership for 2-3 hours, right? No, I'm not doing that. Because when you guys go into the dealership, you guys give them the upper hand. You have to understand that. When you go into the dealership, you give them the upper hand, because now they can waste your time. So a lot of people that end up buying cars at the dealership buy cars at the dealership because it's kind of like, I've been sitting here for 2 hours. Man, just give me the paperwork. Let me sign. All right, fine. Take this. That's what they do. When you do it the other way, where they're messaging you, he's literally responding super fast, y'all. Super fast. Super fast, right? Super fast. Super fast. And the funny thing about it is that you have, like, that person that literally just comment, you do better business in person. I would love to know how you do better business in person with the dealership, sitting at the dealership. I would love to know that. I would love to know if you have nothing better to do with your life, where you're sitting in the dealership for 2 hours. There is no better business in person. Now, it's definitely better business in person with different scenarios. Absolutely. Different scenarios. But when it comes to the dealership, there is no better business in person. You're going to waste my time. It happens every time, right? So they're giving you one price. Then now they're running back to their finance manager and saying, oh, they trying to see if you can work something out with the price. And they back there eating lunch, or they smoking a cigar while you sitting there for 30 minutes and they're wasting your time. Then they will come back and then they will say, oh, my finance manager said X, Y, and Z. Right? X, Y, and Z. Now you're sitting there for another 2 hours. while they pretending to run your application, because remember, we can see if they ran our application or not, right? We can see if they ran our application or not. Now they come back, they're saying that you got a PG. Now, you know, when I walked into the dealership, I told you I wasn't PGing, right? Now you going from 30 minutes at the dealership to an hour at the dealership to an hour and 30 minutes at the dealership to an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, y'all, trying to negotiate deals. That don't make no sense to me. My time is very valuable. Okay, my time is very valuable. If you choose to go sit at the dealership for 2 hours and let them waste your time, that is good for you. That is 2 hours of your life you will never be able to get back. And then you get in the same outcome, right? So the same outcome could be you either walk out of there with a vehicle or you don't walk out of there with a vehicle, right? So why not put yourself in a position where you are able to maximize your time from the comfort of your own home, right? I am not going anywhere to sit 2.5 hours, even an hour, right? Even an hour for them to waste my time. It never fails, right? It never fails. So let's understand this and how this works, right? You have to realize, dealing with the dealership side of things, because they want you to come down to that dealership so bad, right? Because remember when they get you down with the dealership, now it's like, ooh, she down here. Let's run all the game on the dealership, right? I've been to several dealerships. I actually have friends that work with dealership that tell me how the game works, right? That tells me how the game works. So now the dealership thing is that they have the upper hand because now you're sitting in the dealership. I don't give anybody the upper hand on me, okay? You're sitting in the dealership, so now they have the upper hand. Here, fill out this application. Give me 5 minutes. Y'all ever been to the dealership and they say, give me 5 minutes, and they come back like in 20 minutes? That's 20 minutes of your time you can't get back, right? Then that deal don't, so they already took them 20 minutes to do whatever. That deal don't work for you, right? You try to negotiate something, like, no, I'm not putting the money down. No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that, right? No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. Then they say, okay, let me go talk to my finance manager. I'm going to come back and blah, 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 right? They're gone for another 20 minutes. That's 40 minutes of you sitting in the dealership for them to try to negotiate something with you. But have you ever tried to negotiate with them through text where you're not in the dealership and they're responding like this, right? They're literally responding like this. So why is it that you're not giving me that same courtesy when I'm sitting at your dealership, but you're responding like this through text message? You're responding like this through email. Think about it, right? They literally respond like this. All right, let me go talk to my manager. Boom, 2 minutes. Bam, another 1 minute, 3 minutes. So now a transaction that can take, let's say, 2 hours in the dealership takes 20 minutes of you being outside of the dealership because they're trying to get that sale. When you are sitting down with them, they already have the upper hand where it's like, oh, we're going to get the sale. Or the salesperson can work with you or can figure out a good deal with you. Now his manager coming over. So now you're trying to explain to his manager what you're trying to do, right? The manager's like, all right, let me go talk to my boss. Now the finance manager comes, and there's a whole bunch of different people coming in to deal with one deal when that could have been done over the phone, right? That could have been done over the phone. It don't make no sense to me for us to go sit in the dealership for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, right? First of all, I'm a business person. I have emails to answer. Yes, I can answer it in the dealership, but the dealership is loud. I got phone calls to make. I got consultations to be on. I'm not sitting in the dealership and doing that because it's too loud in the dealership, right? When I can either sit in my office or sit in the comfort of my home and be able to handle the dealership, handle business calls, handle consultations, handle answering my emails with all the extra distraction, right? With all the extra distraction. So to me, it don't make any sense, right? And also just listening to people that I know that work in the dealership, that's more so saying that they really waste y'all time. We had 2 or 3 people that work in the dealership. One was a girl who said she worked at the dealership for 10 years. And when it came down to running business application, they never allowed her to run business application. You know what they told her? They said, just put it up to the manager, and it's sitting on the manager's desk. The manager's nowhere around, right? The manager's at lunch. The manager is at lunch smoking a cigar and then come back 45 minutes later. Because what the dealership does, they will say, oh, the manager's dealing with another customer right now, another client. Give him a few minutes. Few minutes turns into 30 minutes, turns to 45 minutes, and he's now coming back from lunch. While you're sitting there because you give them the upper hand because you decided to go into the dealership. Y'all, make it make sense. Our time is very valuable. Our time is super, super valuable. And I will tell you this. Never allow people to put their fears on you, right? Never allow people to put their fears on you, including the dealership, right? So remember how I told you guys that there's some things there's specific reason why the dealership sometimes asks for you guys to be there in person, right? Here's a few reasons. One, because now they have the upper hand. Okay, that's one of the reasons. Two is because they want to see you in person to know that you're a real person. We can understand that because of all the stuff that's happening in the world right now. Understandable, right? But here's how we as business owners give them that reassurance that they need. We have created an online presence that is on the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth page of Google, right? There's no way you can tell me that you want me to come and sit with you in person because you want to verify that my business is legit and you are a real person. If you go and do your job, which you're supposed to do, right? You are able to find my business online. You see I am everywhere, right? I literally take up the business literally takes up the first page of Google. Hence why we talk about having an online presence. So having an online presence does a few things. It helps you in the long run because it makes your business not seem, right? Because my business is a legit business. So it makes my business look huge. I am literally everywhere. I'm on every social media platform. I'm on the first, second, third, and fourth, fifth page on Google, right? On Google, I have a toll-free number, which, if they call my number, they're able to get somebody on the phone. So never allow them to put their fear on you, right? Never allow them to put their fears onto you. Because if you do your job, you see that I am literally a legit business. You want a copy of my driver's license? Absolutely. I'm sending you a copy of my driver's license. You can verify it and see that it's a real copy of my driver's license, right? What a lot of you guys do is a lot of you guys allow people to put their fears on you. The dealership is like, yeah, come sit in person. My boss want to talk to you. We want to make sure that you're real, you legit. Do your job and you will see that I'm real and legit, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not the dealership, y'all. It's not the dealership that's running y'all application. It's a finance company. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Y'all go to the dealership. Y'all sit with them for 2, 3, 4 hours or whatever the case may be is. But it's not the dealership's decision. It's the finance company decision. The dealership still has to send out your application to whatever finance company to verify that you are a real person. So, to verify that your business is legit, right? So what does me sitting down in the dealership, prove that I'm real or that I'm legit? I am the person. The business is a business. Y'all have to understand how business works. Understand how business works and stop allowing people to put their fears on y'all, right? Stop allowing people to control how y'all move in any situation because, it's just better to sit in person. Make that make sense for me. Make that make sense for me, right? Or the dealership want to make sure that you not scamming them, you real. How does me sitting in the dealership prove that I'm not scamming them? Think about that. Think about that. How does me sitting in the dealership, right? How does me sitting in the dealership prove that I'm not scamming them? Tell me that. I would love somebody to tell me that, because that don't make no sense. Y'all go to the dealership because the dealership is like, yeah, come down. My manager want to sit with you, da 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 da. But it's so the dealership technically is a third party, y'all. It's a third party. You going and you sitting down in person with them does nothing for you. Why does it do nothing for you? Because at the end of the day, once you complete that application, they send that application out to a finance company. So now you sitting in the dealership waiting for an approval. Because the dealership don't have a bank that they can run your application in-house. Everything gets sent out to another department, and then they come back with an approval. So how does that make sense? Versus you still having the flexibility and having your time to do whatever you want to do by simply completing the application either through email. You send it back to them, and they send it back to whoever, right? Because now you're literally sitting there for 2-3 hours waiting for an approval. Y'all make it make sense. Y'all time is valuable. Y'all time is valuable, and stop allowing people to put their fears on you. Stop allowing people to put their fears on you, right? Make it make sense. There are some reasons sitting in person with someone to do a transaction makes sense. A dealership is not one of them, right? I'm getting ready to get into a $2 million real estate deal. The people has never met me. They never met me. So now they're like, all right, we want to feel this person out. Make sure, we want to get some energy, because I'm a big energy person. Absolutely. I'm going to sit down in person with you, and we can break bread. That makes sense to me, right? Because you dealing with me, I'm dealing with you. We dealing with each other. I'm trying to get your business, you trying to get my business. That makes sense to sit down in person with that person. It doesn't make sense to sit down with a middleman who has to run your application. First you got to agree on the price, right? So agreeing on the price, negotiation alone can take about an hour. Because he's going back over here, but they sitting there kikiing and laughing. And then he comes back and he's like, oh, my manager said, okay, all right, my man. Yo, have y'all ever been to the dealership and the dealership said, okay, all right, my manager, only because of you, you talk us down, you talk this down, only because of you, all right, we're going to give it to you for, this price, only because of you talk me down. Y'all think about what they're saying, y'all. Think about what they're saying. How you going to tell me as the person trying to get the vehicle that I talked you down? Cap. Cap, y'all. Cap. Understand how this works. Understand how this works. If you are a dealership and you have a price, you have a price, right? Going in person is negotiation time. But you can also negotiate through text message. It's going to take you less time to negotiate. Somebody said BS, LOL. Absolutely, right? It's going to take you less time to negotiate through text message, right? Because it's so funny to me how this guy from the dealership, I'm messaging him and he's responding, immediately. Give me 2 minutes. Let me talk to my finance manager. And literally he's coming back to me in 2 minutes. But had I had been at the dealership, now that 2 minutes turned into 20 minutes. Right? Then he would say, okay, that don't work for you. Just because he keeps saying, come on in. My manager said they can work something out. I don't need to come I don't need to come and sit down into the dealership for you to work out a price for me, because the same price you're trying to work out for me coming into the dealership, you were able to work that out for me through text message, and I didn't have to sit in your dealership for 2 hours. It literally took us 10 minutes to come to a conclusion. 10 minutes to come to a conclusion. Okay, that's what it is. Nope, that don't work for me. Okay, yes, that won't work for me. 10 minutes to come to a conclusion on a deal versus 2 hours for them to sit there and go back and forth and waste y'all time. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Going into the dealership to negotiate a deal makes no sense. None. You are going to sit there longer trying to negotiate, because remember, negotiation is the first step of anything. It's the first step. Second step is, all right, that's not working for her. Let's just pretend and say we send the application out. Now you're sitting there for another 30 minutes to an hour waiting for an approval on an application. 30 minutes to an hour waiting on approval for an application just to find out that they didn't even run your application. Just to find out that they didn't even run your application. Because everybody in my vehicle challenge knows exactly how to find out if the dealership ran their application. Everybody, right? Guys, in the meantime, if you guys have questions while I'm talking, drop your questions in the question box, because I do see a lot of things flying in the chat, so I don't want to have to like go back and scroll through this once I'm finished, right? But just drop your question in the question box. There's a question box at the bottom of your screen. It will say like a question mark on it, okay? But yeah, back to what I was saying, right? Everybody that took my 5-day vehicle challenge knows exactly how you can check to see if the because it's not the dealership, it's a finance company, to see if they actually ran your application, right? Another way for you to know if they actually ran your application is the finance company will send you an application to your house. Like, let's say you got declined, right? Let's say you got declined. The dealership. All right, so I am going to do this, guys. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me, and y'all y'all know me, and y'all know me very well, right? And I do apologize, sir. I have no idea who you are, but I do want you to understand this. I am the queen of block. Okay, I am the queen of block. One thing I tell people all the time when they come to my community: be okay with unlearning and relearning. Okay. Also, you know what? I'm gonna give you an opportunity, because maybe you don't know. Okay. Be open to unlearning and relearning. That's the first thing. All right. Second thing is going to be, my community is a no PG community, meaning that we do not PG vehicles and we do not put money down. Okay. You go to the bank to get an approval first. That is PG, personal guarantee. Okay. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to catch yourself before I block you. Okay. Because a lot of y'all come into my community and don't understand what we do. Right? Don't understand what we do. So if you are new to my community, welcome to my community. We are glad to have you here. We are a very friendly community. Coming into the community, be okay with unlearning and relearning, and understand that in this community, we do not PG, meaning personal guarantee. Okay? We do not personal guarantee anything in this community. When you have a business, you separate yourself from the business. Okay? Every vehicle that we have gotten in this business, in this community, is no PG and no money down. Okay? So, disclaimer. That was my disclaimer. Welcome to the community. We are glad to have you here. As a new, looks like a new person, we are more than happy to have you here. Okay? Now, let me proceed. Okay. Back to what I was saying, right? Y'all, yes, just do everything first online, right? Do that online. Do it through text message if you need to. Do it through why y'all know I'll be serious. But sometimes I'll be having to remember that not everybody is aware of my community, right? A lot of people are new coming in, so I have to give people grace. And I definitely give a fair warning, okay? I have to give people grace. So that was your grace. You are more than welcome, okay? You are more than welcome. So yes, back to what I was saying. Yes, so guys, understand that there is a process to how we go about doing this, okay? There is a process. My goal is to literally help you guys to be able to take yourself to the next level, just like I did with Miss Jackson. She has 11 vehicles under her business, no PG, no money down, with now making, y'all, Miss Jackson makes 6 figures now. Miss Jackson makes 6 figures off of these vehicles, right? We have Monet and her husband. They have 10 vehicles under their business, including a box truck, right? No PG, no money down. It's a process. So here's another reasons too why I don't want you guys going into the dealership. Now, again, you guys can do whatever you want, right? But here's why here's another reason, okay? Here's another reason, right? It's also because you have to remember that we are also educating the salespeople at times, right? We are literally educating the salespeople at times. So why go down to the dealership and try to go back and forth with them? Why go down to the dealership and try to go back and forth with the dealership? Because you have to remember, a lot of these people, like we have a lot of salespeople. Remember the sales guy? He was like, oh, he been in business for 20 years. This is not possible. You can't do that. And then one of my students went to that same dealership, went above his head, right? We went above his head and we talked to the finance manager. And they were able to get a vehicle under their business, right? No PG, no money down. And what did the sales guy say? I've literally worked at this dealership for 20 years and I've never seen this happen. Can you tell me how you did that? Now he turned into a student. The sales rep at the time turned into a student. Isn't that ironic? So that's also another reason why I don't go into the dealership. Because then you have a lot of them that says, I've been here for 20 years. I've been here for 10 years. I've been here for 15 years, right? They've been here for all these years, but they don't understand business. They are salespeople. They are salespeople, and their job is to sell you. So that's exactly what they're doing, selling you. So anytime it feels like they're not getting that sale, you guys have to see how their personalities start to change. I'm watching this guy through text message. I'm feeling like because you can, somebody text you and they text in one way. You're like, all right, cool, this is cool. And you guys texting. But as soon as you curve this way, you're like, nope, that price not going to work for me. Now it's like they're pulling out all the stops and then they text a little bit slower, or they wait until like 2 days and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your message. Yep. We do not want to get our time wasted. All right. So that was a big gem for y'all. Big gem. And we cannot blame the salespeople. Okay. I don't want you guys to blame the salespeople because we can't do that. They are just not trained on this. It is our job sometimes to educate these people. But at the same time, if they've been at the dealership for 20 years, they're not listening to you educate them. We prove them wrong every time. No PG, period. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Nobody who's been in the dealership for 20 years wants you to come down there and try to educate them on something. You know why they don't want that? Because nobody wants to seem stupid. Right? Nobody is open to being there for 20 years, because I mean that they're old, right? Being there for 20 years, they have no idea the process of unlearning and relearning. No idea of the process of that. So that's also another reason why I don't go down, because I'm not going down to sit here and go back and forth with you, right? About something that I know is a fact, but you telling me it's not true. And then they get upset because it's like, well, no, I'm not running your application because I need you to PG. I'm not running your application because that don't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to who? To you. And then they close-minded to this, right? Even like today, I went to the bank to open a business bank account. And the thing I love about this banker is that afterwards, it was kind of like, hey, I apologize, whatever. So I went into the bank to open a bank account. He wanted to put a deposit in, right? But he didn't tell me the deposit has to be cash. Now, this is a private bank, so there's no ATMs, right? You have to come in there and make all your deposit and stuff like that. There's no ATMs for this bank. So at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, I drove 45 minutes for you to tell me that you cannot open a bank account for me because I don't have $100 to open this account. He's like, you're right. I didn't think about it, but do you want to go back and come back to open the bank account for $100? I said, so let me get this right. You want me to drive back home 45 minutes, schedule another appointment with you to come back to your bank to open a bank account because you didn't tell me that I needed to bring cash to open this bank account, right? He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, okay, so is there a way to Zelle it into the account? Because if I leave this bank, I ain't coming back. And I guess he was training somebody. So she was like, oh no, whatever. It's accepting Zelle. Okay, great. I can do Zelle, not a problem. Because had I walked out of that bank, I would have not have been coming back. Absolutely not. But this person was okay with accepting the responsibility of, hey, my apologies. I know better now to send better details to people in the future. Absolutely. 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 Okay? Okay? All right, let's jump into this, y'all. Whew, okay. It was done this past weekend. What was done this past weekend? Let me see what your other message might have said. I purchased a vehicle in my personal name for my daughter. Can I transfer it into my business name? So you're going to have to refinance into your business name. If you purchase cash, then yes, absolutely. You can do a title transfer, so you have to go down to the DMV to do all that stuff. Okay, DMV will give you all the information to fill out. So if you bought it cash, yes. If you financed it, now you have to do a refinance under that in order to put it in your business name. Okay, close. Coach, my LLC was closed by state, but NAV, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet still reporting an 80 paydex score. Any suggestion what to do? Absolutely. Absolutely. So what you need to do is you need to contact the Secretary of State. You're welcome. The Secretary of State in whatever state that you're in and reinstate the company. Okay? As long as the company is not like dissolved, which means closed, you can reinstate the company and still keep the age of your company. Okay? So contact them and allow them to reinstate your company. Most of the time, businesses end up getting lapsing because of like taxes that you may owe like $100 in tax, right? You may owe $150. You may owe $50 in tax because you didn't file your taxes. A lot of you guys don't realize that even though your business is not making money, you should absolutely be filing taxes every single year. You can file zero filing every single year. Zero filing allow them to see that, okay, the business is not making money right now, but the officer of the business is being responsible because they're filing zero taxes, which doesn't allow the businesses to be closed. Okay? Okay, let's see. Any recommendation on online presence? Absolutely. Go to Google and type in Her Secret Vault, and that's Her Secret Vault, okay? And you would be able to see what an online presence should look like. And then I will literally say mimic everything. So if you see an Instagram account, start an Instagram. If you see a YouTube account, start a YouTube account. You're welcome. If you see a Pinterest account, start a Pinterest account. If you see a TikTok account, start a TikTok account, right? If you see a website, build a website, right? Literally mimic everything that you see there. Even on the right side of Google, you're going to see my business. Put your business on the right side of Google. You're going to see certain photos. Put the photos online that you want people to see. Don't allow Google to put its own thing and, put whatever photos. Put your photos as to how you want to represent your business. All right? Oh, wow. That's it? No additional questions? Y'all was just here to listen to me talk? Y'all know I'm definitely a talker. Definitely an educator for sure. I love to educate you guys on different things for sure. Is it smart to start your LLC in a different state for tax purposes? I mean, absolutely, right? It just depends. So we know Delaware Wyoming, Nevada, right? Those are all good states to open a business for tax purposes. But I will say this, if your business require a business license, then no, that makes no sense. So let's say I'm in Nevada, but I have a business in Wyoming. But I'm operating business out of Nevada where I need to have a business license in order for me to operate. I can have a business license in Wyoming, but it doesn't make sense because Nevada is requiring for me to have a business license. So you want to make sure you look into these things before you jump into doing business, because it can hurt you more than it can help you. All right. So make sure that your state don't require, whatever industry that you're in, make sure that your state don't require for you to have a business license. Do you teach that in your course? Teach what? Can you recommend a good EA? For EAs, I highly recommend doing some research, right? Doing some research in your state, especially if you want to have somebody local. Definitely do some research on that. Let me see. Well, I have forgot to file my annual report one time. It was so stressful getting reinstated. Okay, yes, absolutely. But I will tell you this. If you have a proper tax team, right? Meaning that if you have an EA, an accountant, even Laughlin, right? I tell you guys about Laughlin all the time. It gets reinstated immediately. When I did mine, because mine wasn't a reinstatement. Mine was a tax lien because I didn't pay taxes. Again, not understanding business 10 years ago, right? And I had to call them, and I'm like, why is there a tax lien on my business? I don't owe no taxes. And this is how I found out there was a filing tax that I owed. It was $100, y'all, $100. So I had to go pay them the $100 in order for them to remove this lien off of my business. Really, for $100? Look, they'll put a lien on your business for $2. Let's see if what is any tax laws we should know about for upcoming tax season. I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not a tax person. I highly recommend that you go speak with whoever is doing your taxes. They will be able to help you with that. I depend on my tax team, which is my EA team. They don't need to educate me, but they do educate me on what's happening. Like when things change, like last year you were paying your kids $12,900 a year. This year you're paying them $13,500 a year, right? So I depend on my tax team to advise me on things that I should be aware of in my business. Make sure that you guys have a tax professional that's able to educate you guys. Or if you have a friend or somebody that's able to give you tax advice, do that. I do not give out tax advice because I'm not a tax accountant. I'm not an EA. Absolutely not. Let me try to catch up with y'all comments. I was thinking of doing an online business selling clothing. So does a seller's certificate / license would be... Okay, so here's let me finish reading that. If it's the purpose to register in another Wyoming. Well, yes, because if you are, let's say you're in New York and you're buying stuff wholesale, they need a business license, right? Like a lot of those stores, especially like on Canal Street or 23rd Street in Manhattan, or I think it's 25th Street, they sell wholesale. You can go there and you can buy it in bulks. But if you don't have your business EIN and that tax certificate that you're supposed to have, then no, you're not able to buy it, right? You're not able to buy it. So yes, that will defeat the purpose for you. Okay, what I mean when I ask, do you teach that in your class, is Google how to set up, absolutely, vendors or lenders. Yes, absolutely. That is something that I teach in my mentorship, okay? Because I work with you guys more intimate, where we meet every Sunday for 8 weeks, right? I show you guys how to list your business. Yes, we do all of that in the mentorship. In the vehicle challenge, I also teach that, but that's pre-recorded versus the mentorship where it's live. Hey, beautiful. Hey, how are you? Miss International? I'm glad you jumped on my live too. Please do you have my cell phone? I need you to take my cell phone number, girl, because I be so busy. I've been meaning to reach out to you. I think you got my cell phone. Send me a text, please, okay? Because we gotta talk. I got some tea for you. Not tea like that. I mean like some business tea for you. Hello, when someone gets an LLC, when is it okay to add your children as a worker? That's a good question. Okay, so her question is, hello, when someone gets an LLC, when is it okay to add your child as a worker? Okay, let's get into this, okay? Legally, you're able to pay your child from the age of 7 to 17, the new requirements now, which is $13,500 per year, all right? That's the full amount. If they are under the age of 7, so let's say a baby till 6, you have to pay them like you would pay somebody else. Because there's a lot of like child models who have like contracts with like Gerber and stuff like that. That's a different story because that's like paid advertisement and stuff like that. But if there's specific things that you're using your child, because let's think about this. A 6-month-old cannot sweep floors, right? Those are things that kids between the age of 7 and 17 can do. If the child is like a child clothing model or things like that where they can actively do stuff for the business, then yes, you can pay the child. But legally it's 7 to 17 that you can pay them the max amount, which is $13,500 per year. If they turn 18, or when they turn 18, when they turn 18, you have to pay them like you would pay yourself, right? Because now they're typically considered an adult. So now you have to pay them like you would pay yourself. You have to take out, all the taxes that come with paycheck. I don't even do my own personal. My accountant does that, right? But all the taxes, all the things that come out for taxes, you have to now take out for them. You have to run a payroll for them like a regular payroll because now they're 18, all right? Somebody said, is the gems for me? Absolutely. Is your mentorship open? Yes, the mentorship restarts, I believe it's January 8th. January 8th is when we start the next mentorship. I just ended a mentorship last weekend. So January 8th is when we do the next mentorship. Link is in my bio. Okay, let's see. But you need an S Corp structure over your LLC, correct, coach? Not necessarily. Okay, let's break this down a little bit. So his question was, but you need an S Corp structure over an LLC, correct? So not necessarily. When it comes to S Corp, in certain instances, you want to start an S Corp right away. But most of the time, you would do an LLC and then you will file an election to become an S Corp or a C Corp, right? That form to become an S Corp or a C Corp. Technically, if your business is not making at least $40,000 a year, you should be an LLC, right? Now, there's specific type of businesses that make sense for you to be an S Corp right away. Certain type of businesses make sense. But most of the times you want to do an LLC, and then when the business actually starts making money for tax purposes, now we become an S Corp. Okay? When I started this company, it was an LLC. Throughout the process, I think it was like a year, my accounting team said, hey, look, money-wise, tax-wise, what it is that you're doing as a business owner, you need to be an S Corp. So my accounting team completed the form for me to be elected to become an S Corp. And they switched my company over into an S Corp. Because I guess according to them, I was making too much and I was paying more in taxes by having an LLC. So I needed to, they needed to switch me over to an S Corp. So that's when I switched over to an S Corp. There's a method to the madness, right? This is why it's important for you guys to talk to a tax preparer before you guys make legal advice. I'm not a tax preparer. I can just advise you guys on what I know. Okay, let me go back to the question box. This is a good one, but also like a not so good one, because I talked about this before. So this person said, can you recommend few cars to start on Toro? Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. Here's why. Every state is different, okay? If you're in Vegas, I would say start cars like Corvettes. They move very well. Mustangs, they move amazing. Anything drop top moves amazing in Vegas. Every state has their own requirements on what type of vehicle works for that state. So no, unfortunately, I cannot tell you what cars to start on Toro, because I don't know where you are. I know nothing about your business. I have not done any research in that possible state. Okay, so I highly recommend that you do your research so you can know for yourself. If you are unaware and you're in the vehicle challenge tells you how to identify what vehicle moves in your state. Okay? So that was a great question, but it's not a question that I could just generally answer, because then that means that I'm just capping. Okay? Because I know nothing about where you are, what's going on, so on and so forth. Okay? Let's see. Any information or class on paying your children from your business? Paying them from your business? So paying your children from your business? Okay, so few things. Either way so let's say you have a payroll company, because you're going to need a payroll company. If you have a payroll company, your payroll company should know this information already, how to pay a child, okay? If you're working with a tax team or whatever, you can go through them as well, and they can pay the child for you. One of the things that my accountant, well, I don't know if I can tell y'all what they did, because I don't know how, okay, I'm not going to tell y'all that yet. That's for my private class. But the way that they structured, I will say this. Okay, I will say this. The way that they structured stuff for my daughter was a flow up, right? Because you have to pay like certain taxes on certain things. No. The way that they did it for my daughter was like a flow up. So it kind of goes like this, and then it goes like this. Okay? I can't tell y'all that publicly. I got to tell y'all that in my private classes. For those of you guys who take in my private classes. For those of you guys who are going to be in the 5-day black print, I give it to you guys. I'm going to give it to you guys. Let me take note of that. So the 5-day black print is December 4th to December 8th. December 4th to December 8th. It starts at 4 p.m. PST time / 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? So that's a 5-day black print. And I'm going to tell you guys how we pay my daughter. Okay? Let me write that down. How my team pays my daughter. All right. Boom. How my team pays my daughter. All right. So make sure that you guys get your tickets for the 5-day black print. It starts next week, December 4th to December 8th. We have everything from trademark to branding to infinite banking to obviously business credit to private rentals. And I do have a special treat for you guys. Okay. I do have a special treat for you guys. But yes. Okay. Let me see any other questions. Coach, I have a business that I want to begin to structure in the name Xfinity Transportation Experience LLC, a high-risk name. You said, Coach, I have a business that I want to begin to structure. Oh, is the name Xfinity? Okay, so it's actually so funny. I know your profile like the back of my hands. And the funny thing about it, you asked that question, but you actually already know the answer to that question, right? You know the answer to that question. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to give you the opportunity to be able to answer that question for yourself. So I'm going to look for the answer from you. All right, let me see. Any gems on life? Wow. So I will say this, okay? I will say this. Focus on you lash lash popping. I'm trying to give her some thank you. I'm trying to give her some life advice, okay? I'm trying to give her some life. Thank you. Yeah, I don't usually wear mascara, but I wore mascara today because my eyelashes are super long. Yes, these are all mine, y'all. These are all mine. These belong to me, okay? They belong to me. Because my eyelashes are super long, so I don't usually wear mascara, but I decided to wear some mascara today. Anyways, you just see she distracted me. And that's a life advice. Don't allow people to come in and distract you. Don't allow people to come in and distract you. But no, seriously, life advice. I will say focus on you until the focus is on you, right? Focus on you until the focus is on you. What do I mean by that? We have so many different things that distract us that some of you guys don't understand that sometimes you literally have to pick up and leave the state that you're in order for things to start changing for you, right? Because if you're in a state where you're dealing with domestic violence, right? Family not supporting you. Job is underpaying you. People are disrespecting you. Sometimes you have to up and leave for your own peace, for your own sanity, right? Those are things that I have done within my years, even before starting becoming an entrepreneur, right? Even before becoming an entrepreneur, there were certain things that I did, not even knowing that it was things that I needed, but I learned from these mistakes. When I was in Atlanta and I was literally going through domestic violence with my ex-husband, which is my daughter's father, one of the things that I did when my daughter was born, immediately I said to myself, I can't do this anymore, right? I upped and I moved and I went to New York City and I was living in a shelter. I was in a shelter for I want to say 2 years, right? The shelter was the one that helped me, connected me with an attorney that helped me get my citizenship or helped me get my social because I didn't have a social at the time. That helped me get a social. And then eventually they helped me get my citizenship. The shelter also helped me to find an apartment. Obviously, you have to pay, your own half or whatever, but they helped me find an apartment. And I believe it was my first official apartment. They helped me find an apartment where I put my daughter in school and stuff like that. But even with that, life was still stressful, right? Because when I found my apartment, I still wasn't a citizen, right? And this was many years ago. I still didn't even have a social, I think, at the time. But the landlord was willing to work with me, whatever. It was a beautiful place, by the way, as well, too. But then, obviously, different mistakes happen. Or different life experience, I would say, happened. I literally had to go to the corner store and I was asking them if they can. And because they were seeing me all the time, that was a good thing. So I literally had to go take out credits with them and hey, if you guys allow me to take some bread and some cheese, and I think it was some eggs, I would definitely pay you guys at the end of the week. And I kept my promises. Even if I had to pay something myself, I kept my promise to the store because I know eventually I might need their help again. And I did need their help again, right? Where I was hey, I paid my bill, I paid it on time. Can you guys extend another credit for me? And they did that, right? Eventually, I end up having to move out of the apartment because I couldn't keep up with the rent and stuff for that particular apartment. No, I'm lying. That's not why I moved out. The landlord was trying to move her son in because it was 3 stories, and her son and her grandchildren or whatever. So they were ggiving me a hard time. So I end up moving with one of my sisters, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I end up moving to one of my sisters where I was staying on their couch. And then I eventually had a friend at the time, no longer a friend, where I went to stay with her because I was watching her kids and stuff like that. That ended up going south because she ended up moving out and the landlord didn't know that I was there, right? Even though the landlord was living right downstairs, she didn't know that I was there. So this friend told me that she told the landlord that I was staying. Now, when she moved out, the next day the landlord is who are you? Why are you here? And I'm didn't she tell you I was taking over the place? And the landlord was no. So that was a whole nother thing. I'm hey, I can pay the rent. Here's some money for rent or whatever. But the landlord, I understood the landlord position at the time. But at the same time, being there for about a year and a half and not having anywhere else to go, I'm like, look, I can pay you rent. I understand you don't know who I am. I can give you my ID. I can give you my social, so on and so forth. That didn't end up working out because the friend at the time, her thing was that, well, if the landlord wants you out, you should move. When your thing should be like, hey, I know that we talked about you staying here. Let me talk to the landlord. So for me, I can understand why is it that you were not vouching for me, knowing that, you know, I was here for a year and a half and technically I got squatters right, but I don't do stuff like that to people, right? So I understood what the landlord was saying. I paid the landlord rent even though I was there. She was trying to get me out, but I was still paying her rent. We ended up going to court. And then the judge, so she wasn't asking for no eviction or nothing like that. She just wanted me out of the place because she didn't know who I was. Understood, right? And then the judge says, you know, they're not asking for any money. They're not asking for anything. How much time do you need to move? And I say, you know what? Give me 60 days, 2 months. The judge looked at me, I think it was like literally right before the pandemic, right? The judge looked at me and she said, you only need 2 months? And I said, yes, ma'am, I only need 2 months. She said, are you sure? I said, I'm positive. I'm positive. She said, are you sure you only need 2 months? Because I had a daughter. And I think my daughter was 7 at the time. I was like, yes, ma'am, I only need 2 months. She was like, all right, we'll give you 2 months, but usually it takes longer. True, but it ain't going to take me longer. So I was literally out of there before the 2 months, right? And that's where I ended up finding my 2-bedroom apartment in New Jersey. Worked 2 jobs to be able to support my daughter. So that's why I tell you guys a lot of the times, like, you guys see people aftermath, right? You guys see people aftermath, but you guys don't know the struggle that people went through. So the person that asked me about life advice, focus on you. Focus on you. It don't matter what you're doing, how you got to do it. Like, a lot of people think because they have to make decisions to support their family that people are going to judge them, right? I literally have one of my students who I end up finding out after, and she talks about it all the time. But she was a stripper, and I think when she learned about my vehicle challenge, she stopped stripping. But she didn't want to tell me because she felt like I was going to judge her. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have worked my fair share of jobs, right? I wasn't a stripper now. Let me make sure I'm clear about that, right? But I have worked my fair share of jobs, y'all. I worked the restaurant business for a very long time. For dishwashing, to bussing tables, to being a hostess, to being a server, right? Where these jobs will literally pay me $2 and $3 an hour, $4 an hour, because we're depending on our tips. Certain jobs would take me without me even having a social security number. This was like way back in the days, right? Before social was a big thing like it is right now. But these jobs would take me. So I'm literally, when I say humble beginnings, y'all, I'm literally coming from humble beginnings. I literally came from Trinidad where we walked to school, right? We walked to school. In order for us to use the bathroom, we got to go to an outhouse. So don't allow people lifestyle to distract y'all, right? Or don't allow what y'all think y'all see, because y'all don't see y'all don't see 98% of the stuff that I put out. Y'all see what I want y'all to see. Right? And I show y'all the truth. So the 2% of the stuff that I show y'all 2% of 100% truth. 200% truth is what I show y'all out of that, in that 2%, right? But I will say this life advice to you: focus on you until the focus is on you. I came from super humble beginnings, right? So, and I'm not saying me, but I would see people get on the people comments and they would say, humble yourself. Humble yourself. I'm very humble, right? As soon as you put something out there, people will say, humble yourself. You have no idea how humble I am. This is why I get on live all the time and I always give out free information, because I know where I come from. I know how this information can literally change our lives, because some of y'all is in probably that same position right now. I don't judge people. Everybody in my community that comes in get a fair shot. You get a fair shot. When you go left, I go left. I am the queen of block. I do not allow people to come in and disturb my soul, disturb my peace, and disturb my community, right? I'm very protective of my community and my space, my peace. So humble, you have no idea. You have no idea. Let's see. Somebody says, so how did you become an entrepreneur? When did you have that aha moment? Okay. Great question. Okay. So my first taste of entrepreneurship, I would say, was when my daughter was recently born in Atlanta. I got a job as a general manager of a gym. I had no social, y'all. No social, but I was a GM at this gym. A weekend GM. So I wasn't the main GM. I was a weekend GM. And I think because the GM kind of liked me as well too or whatever. But he had a little crush. But I became a GM, a weekend GM, where once during the week GM wasn't there, I was the one managing the gym on the weekend, right? And what happened was that one of the clients that I signed up, he was gay, right? It was a gay man. And this was, my daughter's was 16. This was literally 16, 17 years ago, 18 years ago. No, my daughter had just born. So 16 years ago, where accepting people for being themselves was not so friendly as it is right now, right? So none of the male trainers wanted to train him because he was gay, right? So I got my first taste of entrepreneurship because I said, really, guys, none of you guys want to train him? This is really disappointing, right? So mind you, this guy had already signed up for a whole package of training sessions. So what I would do is when he came in, I would train him myself. I told him, I said, look, I apologize. I don't know why this is happening, but I would train you myself. I went and I got certified as a personal trainer, right? My certification came from AAAI. I got certified as a personal trainer immediately because when you are a GM at a gym, they kind of just give you your personal training certificate. So I started learning how to train people and stuff like that, but he was my first client. Then eventually I sort of got fired from the gym because they kept asking me for my social, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it to you. Y'all didn't have no social. I didn't have no social. So eventually the corporate office was like, hey, here's your last check. Unfortunately, we have to let you go because, you ain't got a social, right? Mind y'all, I was literally going through domestic violence with my daughter's father, but I was always so positive, right? And that was my ex-husband at the time. But I've always been so positive because it wasn't like when people think domestic violence, they think about like all the time. No, mine was like sporadic, right? It wasn't like whatever, right? So when I got fired from that gym, I actually decided to like just move out of Georgia because I couldn't deal with that situation anymore. And plus I didn't have a way of supporting myself. So when I was still in Georgia. So I stayed in Georgia for a little bit more. I connected with this boyfriend of mine at the time. When I left my husband, a lady in Georgia, she took a chance on me. God rest her soul right now, right? But she took a chance on me, and she made me a manager at her store because she was like, you a young lady. I'm just trying to help you. Da 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 whatever. So then eventually I ended up moving out of Atlanta into New York, into a shelter, obviously. And while I was in the shelter, I started a personal training business. The personal training business was called Body by Pat. So that's how that was one of my first tastes of becoming an entrepreneur. Because of what happened with this guy at this gym, it forced me now when I moved to New York City, this is how I was able to work in the shelter. Because again, I didn't have a social. So I was able to create income for myself by training people because I had a training certificate. So I worked out of a gym, but the mistake that I made, obviously as an entrepreneur, you start to learn. But the mistake that I made as an entrepreneur was that I was literally going from Manhattan to the Bronx to wherever. Y'all, I was charging clients $25 a session. $25 a session until it was like literally 2 years later, I started realizing, I'm like, my time is very valuable, right? And throughout that time is when the shelter connected me with an attorney, and we started working on getting my social, right? Then I had then I had guy that I went to school with in Brooklyn. And I ran into him one day on the train while I was training. And he was like, wait a minute, aren't you so and so and so and so? And I'm like, who the hell are you? Like, are you trying to talk to me or something? And then he's like, no, I went to this school that you went to. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he invited me, I think was for lunch. And we sat and we had a conversation. Turned out that he had a whole business that he was running. And he was also an immigrant. No social or anything. Right? So we ended up connecting where I started working for him as his assistant. Right? And then eventually I started another company, which was my construction company, my fire safety company, and my cleaning company. So that was my another share of entrepreneurship. And then what I decided to do, because he ended up selling his company. So when I started my company, I wanted him to come on board and work with me. That didn't work out because it was like a control situation. No, let me do everything, or, you know, I got this, you don't know what you're doing. It turned into like a controlling situation. So I ended up having to find a job. So I ended up getting a job. Once I got the job at it was a security company. I worked 2 jobs there. And then I started, throughout the time before I got the job there, I started Her Secret Vault. I started Her Secret Vault in 2014. So it was a clothing company. And I was like doing all them love and hip hop things, like Erica Mena. I met her way before she was famous. I'm actually friends right now with Samantha Mendici mother. I'm friends with her right now. I need to link up with her. But I met these people years ago, while having Her Secret Vault, because it was a clothing boutique. So Samantha used to be one of my models. So if you guys type in Her Secret Vault, or not my model, my brand manager. And then I met her mother, and she was super cool. Till this day, she's super cool, right? Now, what you see on TV and what you see outside of that is something totally different. But yeah, and then I did that, and then I had a bar company that was called Her Secret Vault Bar. So then I started really learning about entrepreneurship and working for myself, right? So I kind of fell into it, if that kind of makes sense. I fell into it, so I did the bar company. The bar company is really where I met all those people, because I was going to like it was a traveling bar. So I was taking the traveling bar, and I was going to all these different events, hiring bartenders to work for me and stuff like that. And then eventually when I started working the 2 jobs with the security company, it was 2 different security companies. It was, I want to say about 1.5 years, 2 years maybe, of working with these companies. I was literally sitting in the parking lot, y'all, at the Amazon store in Staten Island. Okay, that's where I was working. I was literally sitting at the Amazon store in the parking lot in Staten Island. And this thing came over me where it's like, it wasn't necessarily a panic attack, but I'm like, Lord, I know this is not for me. But it felt like a panic attack. It felt like a panic attack to the point where I got sick, because I've always dreamt bigger, right? Like they say your dreams kind of reveal things to you. And I see these things in my dream all the time, like seeing success and seeing whatever. And then I would go to church, and then you would have all these prophets that would tell me, you're destined for greatness. So I literally held on to that. One prophet told me this years ago. You're destined for greatness. The moment I got my apartment in New Jersey, I went to church, and this was literally transitioning out from what was happening with that girl. And I went to church, and a prophet came in, and the prophet called me up, and he handed me his keys. I want to say it was to like a BMW. I can't remember the exact car it was. He handed me the keys, and he said, this is yours. And I'm like, okay. And then he handed me his house keys, and he said, this is yours. So I got the house keys and the car keys in my hand, and I'm like, thank you. He was like, no. Those are mine, but this is yours. It's coming. Y'all, no lie. Literally, I want to say literally a week after I got my place in New Jersey. Right after that, I got my first car, the one that you guys see wrapped, the Cadillac that you guys see wrapped now. That was my first car I bought. He prophesied that to me. It was coming. This is why having a vision is very important. A lot of people don't understand how manifestation really happens, really work. Write the vision and make it plain. Write the vision and make it plain. I really wish y'all can see my window. Every one of my windows, I write things down, right? It's too dark right now. Y'all can't see it. But all of my windows have writing on it. I told y'all I started a real estate company called Brew. It's on my vision board. It was on my glass because it was something that kept coming up, right? So I'm brewing into something. So it's something that kept coming up. Boom, and I went and I registered the business and I trademarked it because I ain't stupid, right? I want to be able to leave back intellectual wealth. Yeah, intellectual. I might be saying that word wrong. Intellectual, whatever. Y'all know my tongue be tied sometimes. It's a language barrier, whatever. But I was intellectual property. Yeah, like intellectual property. There we go. But being able to like leave back stuff like that. So that's how I really knew that my time for entrepreneurship was then at that time. And this was 2.5 years ago. Right? And within that time, it was the first time I ever came to Vegas. First time ever coming to Vegas. And Vegas just reminded me so much of back home, which was Trinidad. And I'm like, ooh, it's nice and hot. I was at the Four Seasons. I was chilling, doing content. Love Vegas. I literally went back home because I think it was literally about a month before I had that panic attack that I came to Vegas just for an event. I went back home. I quit both of my jobs. I gave up my apartment, right? When I gave up the apartment, that was also another situation because they wanted money and we didn't end up going all the way to court because it's kind of like a little bit into the pandemic where I just agreed to pay them. I think it was like 1 month rent or whatever, so it doesn't fall on my credit. And I was like, here y'all go. I paid them that money. And that was the last of the money that I had. So when I came to Vegas, I came with no money, y'all. I came with no furniture because I gave everything away. I gave all my furniture, my bed, everything away to my sister because I know I didn't have any place to put it. I didn't have anywhere to like officially live, right? And then I moved to Vegas, just me and my daughter. Y'all, no money in my bank account, none, no place to stay. Let me tell y'all how God works, Lord. Came to Vegas, but while I was in Vegas, the reason that I moved to won't he do it? Absolutely. The reason I moved to Vegas is because I had just revived her secret vault. So literally 2 months at the old apartment before I gave it up, I started teaching business credit from my living room, right? From my living room. And when I moved to Vegas, business credit started picking up because it was during the pandemic where everybody needed their services. And mind you, I'm still learning with you guys. This is how I'm able to say I'm in the position that I'm in right now because I was learning with you guys, right? So I made the mistakes for you guys so you guys don't have to make those mistakes. So when I moved to Vegas, the first month in Vegas, y'all, I made $10,000. So now I'm having hope because I'm like, yep. Second month in Vegas, I want to say I made $10,000 that month too, $15,000 a month. So now I have money to go get a place. I went and I got a house, right? I got a house on the north side, so I paid first month security, whatever, because it was like $1,850. It's a big old house too. That was like, wow, right? First time ever being in a house. First time ever living in a house, y'all. So my first Christmas in that house, me and my daughter, like we went shopping for Christmas stuff. We put big old Christmas stuff outside. Never in my life had to do that in my life. It was so overwhelming. It was so overwhelming, y'all. Being able to put decorations at your own house. When you went from a place like New York City where you live in these apartment buildings where you can't it's apartment building, right? You can't do nothing. So when I came to Vegas was my first time ever renting a house, buying a house, whatever. Being able to actually decorate. Yo, we spent days decorating the outside of that house. And I remember just being so overwhelmed and so filled because I'm like, I've never had a house to be able to do this. Right? And then more and more manifestation just led to more things. Right? More and more. Third month into business, I made $30,000. 5 months into business, I hit $101,000 for that month. So let me be very clear. That first month, I made $10,000. Second month, I made $15,000 that month. So that was $10,000 from the month before plus $15,000 that month, right? Which gave us $25,000. I can't remember what I made the third and fourth month, but that fifth month was a breakout month for me. I made $101,000 that month, and that was my birthday month, right? My birthday month. Funny enough, that's where I met Miss Jackson, because I did a yacht party. I did a yacht party in Vegas, and Miss Jackson came to the yacht party. She tells me the story all the time now, but Miss Jackson came to the yacht party, right? And then from there, I just kept hitting 100K months, 100K months, 100K months. Obviously, income started going down. Then it come back up. But it's just business. It's just business. So to answer your question, how did I know when to take that leap of faith? I just knew. I'm telling y'all, I literally sat in that parking lot and I had a panic attack in that parking lot. And I didn't even know where it came from. And it was just something telling me, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. Every job that I've ever worked, I'm not going to lie to y'all, and no cap, I will give y'all every one of my employees, and I've worked for a lot of different people. Every one of my jobs that I've worked, if I was to go back to that job now, every one of those jobs will rehire me. Every one of them. Why? Because every one of those jobs before I left, they try to keep me. But I knew I had to move on because I knew there was something bigger and greater for me, right? And this is just the beginning of where I'm supposed to be. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. Like, I can't wait to see what 2024, 2025, so on and so forth holds. Where I'm sitting right now is only the beginning. I want y'all to understand that it's only the beginning. Life is getting ready to do some amazing things. Not just for me, but for a lot of y'all. For a lot of y'all. Life is getting ready to do some amazing things for y'all. We are sitting in these positions for a reason. So don't think when y'all hear people, hey Trey, hey honey. Don't think when you guys hear people or you guys see, right? Because you guys see, you guys don't hear me talk about success. You guys see things and make your own conclusion. But because you see somebody do something, don't assume that it was handed to them. When I say humble beginnings, I mean humble beginnings. Life be lifing. Life be lifing. Somebody says, so happy to be a part of your success. Absolutely. If it was not for you guys, and I tell you guys that all the time, this is why I protect my community so much, right? Because if it was not for you guys, a lot of people forget to thank the people who technically got them there, right? You guys, this community that I've built, you guys are amazing. I'm so happy for your success. Thank you. I've been claiming 2024 my year of the money. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so motivated by your testimony. And that's so funny, y'all. This is not even a testimony. Like, I just got to a place now where I'm comfortable with telling my story, right? Because when I first came into the game, I had a lot of people that was telling me, tell your story, talk about this. I did not want that to be my story. You know how you guys, we have a lot of people who come into the game because, oh, I use this check to do this, or whatever. I didn't want to have a story be my success. I wanted my results to be my success. And that's exactly how I position myself. I position myself by providing results. Life in for me right now. Man. Yeah, absolutely. So many people wanted me to tell my story to basically pull on people's heartstring. I don't understand how people do that. People still do that stuff till this day. I'm so proud of my fellow Dutchman. Thank you. I was watching something on YouTube. I can't even remember the girl name. Never heard of the girl ever. She does credit. She popped up in my YouTube, and I'm like, who's this? And this was literally, I think, a month ago, where she went from, I want to say, a single mom to success. And then she put out a hit on 3 of her clients, right? Because to her, I guess the story was to her, the clients, what the heck was, her clients, people started coming forward saying that she was taking their money and scamming them, right? So these people were so small that they didn't have a voice. So there was one of the girls who had a voice that was bigger. So she blasted her on her platform. She put out a hit on her. She put out a hit on one of her friends. And she put out a hit on, I think it was a real estate agent. No, it was a lawyer, I think it was. Right? And funny enough, one of her friends recorded her setting up the hit. Now, her whole story is that she went from rag to riches, but it's coming out now that she positioned herself in a way where she was pulling at people's heartstrings, right? Like, oh, I'm a single mom too, and if I can do it, so can you, while she just taking people money. Right? That's crazy. It is not that serious. It is not that serious for you to put a whole hit out on somebody. It is not that serious. Right? I am big, right? Unless it's my digital products, right? Because y'all can't buy a digital product and expect a refund. You already got my product. I do not allow people to play with my mental. I will give you back your money before I promise you, before I allow you to drive me crazy. And if you were supposed to be a multi-millionaire like they say you were, it's nothing to give somebody back $100, $1,000, whatever the number is that you owe them. Now you're about to see possibly life in prison. Because somebody said something, so you put out 3 hits. Not about that life. I'll pass. That's why I tell you guys all the time, this is not about the money for me. Like, a lot of y'all send me messages and y'all expect me to answer because y'all like, she need my money. Absolutely not. Right? Because some of you guys become very disrespectful. Like, you're not seeing my message. Why are you not responding to me? Because I don't owe you anything. Book a consultation and I would love to talk to you. Book a consultation and I would love to talk to you. You have a lot of people that's in my inbox that be like, hey, I want to talk to you about business. Okay, book a consultation. Because you don't understand how this works. I pick up the phone to talk to you about business. You getting everything from me and I'm getting nothing from you. You taking all my energy. And then I'm left with all of my energy being sucked from you. That's not the way life works. That's not the way this works. I'm a very fair and understanding person. But I just want you to respect my time. Somebody said time is money. Absolutely. All right, let's see what other questions you guys have. She said trucking is high risk name. Auto broker, I think, got thrown off because of the word transportation. Exactly. So you see, you already know the answer to that. Absolutely. Trucking is high risk. Let's see. Trucking is definitely high risk. Because we like to party. Okay. I am new to being a business owner. It is so hard, but I refuse to give up. Wow. Congratulations, first and foremost. And you know what? Realistically, it's not hard. I will tell you this. And I tell people this all the time. Go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Literally go back to the beginning when I first started teaching business credit. Go back and watch those videos. Go to the YouTube. Go scroll all the way back to my reels from day one. I was giving out, when I say so much information, till this day, people be like, Coach, you give out way too much information for free. No, I give out information for free because I know where I came from. And I know that there's a lot of you guys in that position right now. And it's not about trying to nickel and dime people. Just give people information. Give people information is information. If one thing that you will leave people with is information, right? It's not about money. It's not about clothes. It's not about shoes. One thing that I want my daughter to take away from me is education. Is the understanding on business. Forget about leaving her a life insurance policy, leaving her a trust, leaving her, all this will and all this other stuff. That means nothing if she don't know what to do with it. That means nothing, y'all, if she don't know what to do with that money. So if she takes anything from me, I wanted to take away education. Building legacy, y'all. My legacy will live on forever. It's the reason why I do YouTube videos. My YouTube video is going to be played way after I'm gone. Legacy. It's a whole new generation coming that's going to outlive me. But you know what they're going to say? Oh, I remember Coach P. I remember Coach P. Generational wealth, y'all. Generational wealth. All right, y'all. Talked enough for tonight. Financial literacy is the new drug. Man, say that again. Say that again. And I'm super glad to actually read your message, because I wasn't gonna put you on blast either. But I'm gonna need you. Let me see. That's what I have an LLC in trucking. I binge in your videos all day, so don't be surprised when you see a bunch of likes on your YouTube. LOL, I really want this so bad. And you will get it. That's the most important thing right there. Like, people want this so bad, but they don't work for it. Faith without work is dead. Right? Faith without work is dead. A lot of y'all, I do it at times too, like wishing and hoping and praying. But then I always go back in and do that work. Like, people like, why you work on Thanksgiving? Why you work on Christmas? Why you do this? Why you do that? Why you do this? Why you do that? Don't realize that all that work that I'm putting in that have no paycheck to it, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. Like, I just recently hired a business coach for myself, because we all have coaches. That's why I don't understand why people be like, oh, nobody coach me. Now, don't get me wrong. She's not teaching me business credit. Nobody can teach me that. She teaching me this, and she teaching me business, right? How to be able to put better systems in place. Connecting me with people that is able to now help me take my business to the next level, right? Without her, I would not have got connected inside of these grants, where when these these grant winners win these grants, they got to come to me for education. Your net worth is your network, y'all. Your network is your net worth. I said it backwards the first time. Your network is your net worth. Remember that. Remember that. All right, y'all. Any additional questions for me before I let y'all go? I will say this to y'all. If anything that you do, do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. Y'all, my journey was tough. 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 When I came to this country when I was 12, I was helping my dad put roofs on. So I was climbing up on ladders and fixing roofs and stuff like that. Only way I'm making money. I've been through life. Life was lifing, okay? Life was lifing. So don't let nobody tell you, make it seem like this journey was easy. I'm telling you it wasn't easy. Life was lifing. Yeah, I was getting paid $2 an hour. When you sit back and you really think of this stuff, you like, wow. I'll let you pay me $2 an hour. But at the time, that $2 was a lot of money because I was broke. I won't be able to afford your mentorship program this season coming up because I just buried my parent. Oh, wow. Both of them? Ooh. Plus situation. But if you are running your mentorship again, I'll be there. Wow. First of all, sorry for your loss. That is tough. But I will tell you this, right? And I think you was meant to send that comment. I will tell you this. A lot of things happen in life. You, both of your parents, I can't imagine that, right? At the same time. But I think what people have to understand, life still goes on. So unfortunately, don't allow that situation. Let me get up close and personal with this camera. Don't allow that to distract you. It absolutely could be a distraction because life be lifing, right? To lose two parents. But don't allow that to slow you down. The reason I say that is because at the end of the day, you still have a life to go on to. I don't know if you have children, right? Hence why I tell people all the time, I don't live for my daughter, right? I live for myself. Because when my daughter ready to go on about her business and she turned 18, 19 and she want to go about her business, guess what? She going about her business. She not worried about mom, right? Things are going to happen into our life and things been happening to me, right? Not losing two parents. And I'm so sorry for your loss. That is tough, right? But the one thing I want you to do is to stay focused. Stay focused. There's nothing that you can do about that situation, but you can absolutely make a difference with how you choose to proceed moving forward. I hear you with tears in my eyes. I needed this. I know. I think you was meant to send that comment because funny enough, I was literally just thinking of something like that as far as how life be lifing. Like a lot of us lose parents, we lose friends, we lose whatever, and we allow that to stop us from living our life, right? I pray that both your parents had a full life, but they lived their life, right? You're in a position now where this is going to be your test is your testimony. This is your test. Let it be your testimony. I lost both my parents, but I did this. Let your test be your testimony. This is a test. Let it be your testimony. Take the time you need to grieve. That's what people don't tell you. Take the time you need to grieve, but don't stay down for too long, right? Don't stay down for too long. I have had my own experiences where I had to take time out for myself to not grieve a loss or anything, but if whatever the situation is, I had to take time to collect myself. But I had to remind myself I can't stay down for too long. I can't stay down for too long. Take the time you need. 30 days max. They will forever live on through you. But you have to still live. In order for them to live on, you have to live. Yes, I lost my mom on Christmas last year, and you're right. Let it be a testimony. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? The crazy part too, like, losing parents and loved ones or whatever during the holiday time can be so emotional, right? And that's not the main reasons why I work during Christmas, holidays, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I still got work to do. I still got work to do. Funny story, I called my sister earlier on and she didn't answer. And she kept calling me from a 646 number. And I'm like, who the heck keep calling me? And then she texts me and she's like, answer your phone. So I answer and I'm like, why would you? I don't know this number. She's like, so what if I was in jail? Okay, what was I supposed to do? Like, I'm all the way in Vegas. What am I supposed to do, right? It's the same exact thing with life. It's like things happen in life and there's nothing that we can do about it. But tomorrow you still got to wake up. Life is lifing, right? And I said to my sister, I'm like, okay, if you in jail, what was I supposed to do? Right? If I can't do anything, I still got to give it time. I got to book a flight. I got to figure out where you are. I got to, you know? Right? It's no difference here. Every single day, you have to remember that you're still given an opportunity to be on this earth. It's not going to be easy. I'm telling you now, it's not going to be easy. But let your test be a testimony. I really to hear this. This made me stronger. Oh, my phone is dying. Ooh, my phone dying. Okay. I don't know why we went on to preaching this sermon, but you're so inspiring, Jen, so encouraging. Absolutely, y'all. Thank you. May God bless you. Thank you. This is why I said I know I'm meant to be in a field of some sort of motivation. I still don't even think this is what I'm supposed to be doing as far as business credit and stuff like that. I don't think that is my gift and my calling. I'm supposed to be in some space, right? Some space of like a motivational speaker. Not even a motivational speaker, like a counselor, something like that, right? I had a friend recently. He's actually overseas now with the Marines contracting, but it just so happens is that when I came into his life and he came into my life, that he was dealing with a severe case of PTSD, y'all. Severe case of PTSD. But it wasn't just PTSD. It was the people that was in his life. Life coach. That might be it, right? But he was dealing with even the people in his life, like his family, like being disrespectful to him, talking down, knowing that he got PTSD, right? An ex-girlfriend who will literally trigger him purposely, right? And then when you have people in your life like me who show you that you don't have to allow life to life, it was something totally different. And it's funny because he said to me, without putting his business out there, but he had to end up in something with the Marine where he had to go through some stuff. I ain't gonna put his business out there. But even the counselors, when I went to go see him, even the counselor said to me, they said, we have no idea who you are, but you are such an impact on this man's life. A lot of triggers he had, a lot of different people triggering him, right? And he's still trying to function, but he had so many different people triggering him. So when I literally came into his life, he's starting to see something different. So he removed this trigger, he removed this trigger, he removed that trigger, he removed that trigger, he removed that trigger. But you know how things happen now? People, he now started to show people how he should be treated. The problem that was there before is that he didn't know how he was supposed to be treated. So his family would be treating him a certain way. The ex-girlfriend now, thank God she's an ex, would treat him a certain way, right? But when he really started seeing how bright life could be, right? I'm gonna say that. When he started seeing how bright life could be by just being around me, where we're just hanging out, we're chilling, we're doing business. Y'all, I swear to God, this is like a whole different man, right? A whole different man. So it's the same exact thing with relationships. A man could come into your life and make you go backwards. A woman could come into your life and make you go backwards. But when you have that right person that come into your life that is more of like a guiding light to you, makes all the difference. Makes all the difference. When I say all the difference, I mean all the difference. And he was able to start to see his worth. But he wasn't able to see past his PTSD. He wasn't able to see past his failed businesses. He wasn't able to see past his failed relationship. He wasn't able to see past his parents. His mind is thinking so differently now. And I tell him all the time, I'm so freaking proud of him. PTSD is worse than an illness. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've never dealt with somebody in that situation. It's tough. Don't get me wrong. It's tough, right? To just like be a friend and like see him go through this stuff. But as I'm starting to show him different things in life, y'all, he's so much different. And I'm so freaking proud of him. I tell him that all the time. I am so proud of you to just see how you allowed yourself to know your worth now. It's the same exact thing for you guys in business and everything else that we do. We got to know our worth. We got to know our worth. Yeah, I think I was meant to be a life coach. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. But even the counselors at the VA hospital, they were like, have you ever thought about being a counselor? And I'm like, no. They was like, we don't know where the hell you came from, but your impact that you have on this man, it's like amazing. The counselor, y'all, called me and gave me her phone number. She said, if you have any questions, call me directly. She said, call me directly. Your light allowed him to see better. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. And I'm a strong believer in that, because I had an ex before that was telling me that he was saying that there's like different, and I started to learn about that a little bit more. But he was like, there's different type of like people. Some people is like a guiding light. Some people is like, you know, whatever. And I've actually heard this on multiple people before. But there's something about my spirit or whatever it is. But it's like a guiding light for people, right? It's like a guiding light. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. Every time I have a conversation with somebody, it's like, I ain't finna go preaching for y'all tonight. I'm not a preacher. I don't think I was meant to be a preacher. I don't think that's the calling. But anyways, guys, do you guys have any additional questions for me before I let you guys go? And definitely to that young lady who lost both of her parents. Look, this is a community. This is a community of people who are here to support you guys. You guys always think that it's about business. It's not just about business. Y'all got to understand, life was lifing for me. And when I needed people, I didn't have my family, but I had my community, right? Because while I was teaching business credit and building a community, I didn't have no place to stay. So my community was giving me the fuel that I needed. And that's why I come back and I give to you guys the way I give to you guys. And there's people like will reach out to me for my opinion all the time. But okay, let's talk about that. I had to learn it the hard way. We got to stop taking everybody's phone call, right? I was guilty of doing that. I was guilty of taking everybody's phone call because I want to help everybody. But people started draining me, right? And I don't mean you guys. I mean like friends, family, business associates. People started draining me because when I needed people or needed somebody to talk to, nobody was there for me. I pick up the phone and I'm like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, I'm busy. Blah, blah, oh, I got this going on. But every time they call, I'm picking up the phone. I had to get rid of that spirit. Because it was something that I had to realize for myself. Because I would watch, they would call me 2-3 times. Hey, I need to get a vehicle. I'm at the dealership. This is happening. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how did you know I wasn't busy? Like sometimes I'd be mad early in the morning. How do you know I wasn't busy? But as soon as you pick up that phone to call them, no response, no text back, no call back, no response back. Y'all, we have to pay attention. Pay attention, and then stuff will start to reveal itself. That's what started happening with me. I started paying attention to these people, and stuff started revealing itself. My phone is real silent these days. And I won't have it any other way. Let me see. Thank you. I really need this community. I am Elizabeth Mann. Please remember, it's actually funny. I know this lady in New York. Her name was Elizabeth, and if I'm not mistaken, her last name was Mann too. That is crazy. Please remember me because I'm coming. Believe it, I'm coming. Absolutely. You are so right. I'm working on that now. It's going to take time. Don't get me wrong. It took me time until it started to really become a problem where I'm like, I started really seeing like, yo, you really not answering for me, but you will call me for me to do. Nah. Mm-mm. And then it's hard to not answer the phone for people, but I just had to eventually say, you know what? Nope. It ain't gonna be easy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It ain't easy. You said a mouthful there. I am from New York. I am New York now. It's my hometown. Oh wow. LOL. Yeah, my daughter's out there. She coming back this weekend. She getting on her auntie nerve. I was like, just send the little brat back home, please. I'm in Queens. Big up New York. Right. Yo, so let me tell y'all. So those of y'all who out there in Queens and New York or just New York in itself, do y'all been seeing them people who've been on the train in New York City feeding the homeless? Not feeding the homeless, I'm sorry. So like every Thanksgiving, they would do like a big Thanksgiving meal and then they would go onto the trains in New York City and feed the people in New York City. Have y'all been seeing that? Have y'all been seeing that? I think they made it on the Shade Room. They made it on some of these other places. But they'll put together this big Thanksgiving meal. They will, wear gloves or whatever, cook this huge meal and go out and serve these people. I saw it last year. They did this year. Funny enough, y'all, one of the people who actually does that is a friend of mine. Like, he's a friend. And I literally just messaged him today. Like, we were just going back and forth through conversation. And even with him, so damn proud of him because he's a comedian. And then he just opened a restaurant out there in New York City as well, too. So I'm definitely going to be out in New York City for 2024, y'all. I promise y'all I'm going to be out there for 2024. And we'll definitely be going down to his restaurant. I don't know. They closed one restaurant to open another restaurant. I saw a picture on the subway. Yep. So I personally know him, but I literally just texted him today earlier on about something totally different. I'm one of the guys. But when I come down to New York for 2024, we'll probably do like a meet and greet or something. Like, I don't want it to be, too crazy. I'll probably do like a meet and greet where we can kind of, hang out. We chop it up. We eat some food, laugh and talk. Y'all, I've been missing Spades game for the longest. And I know New York City got the lit Spades game. I cannot find a Spades game in, have a brunch. I like that. I cannot have a Spades game in Vegas. That's not the thing in Vegas. That's not a thing in Vegas. A lot of people do it, their neighborhood give back. Yeah, for sure. But these guys, they made it on so many different news channels, y'all. So many news channels. They did a huge Thanksgiving dinner and just fed the people on the subway. Shout out to Joe Show. Shout out to the homie. All right, y'all. I gotta go. And my website guy just texted me too. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. It's amazing. Y'all, you guys are amazing. And thank y'all so much for showing love to Elizabeth. You see, I remember your name, Elizabeth Mann. To Elizabeth Mann. Elizabeth Mann. Man. But thank y'all so much for showing love to her because, she definitely needed that. I know she needed that. Hey, Coach Jean. I know she needed that. You guys are amazing. Amazing. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your time. You are welcome. You are more than welcome. All right, y'all. I will see you guys most likely tomorrow because I'm trying to go live more often to answer questions for you guys. I did. You're amazing. Yeah, but I'm trying to go live more often to answer questions for you guys. But make sure that you guys secure your spot for the 5-day black print. Okay, 5-day black print. Then December 23rd, I'll be in LA. Okay, I want to give a free consultation to one of your tribe that wants to get into government contract. Now, Coach Jean, you're going to have a whole lot of people in your inbox right now. You about to have a whole lot of people in your inbox right now. So y'all, he said he want to give a free consultation to one of my tribe that wants to get into government contracting. Your DM's about to be real flooded, Coach Jean. I'm in Vegas once a month. I would love to meet you. Absolutely. So Vegas, we will be doing, me and the biz lawyer, I can tell you guys now, me and the biz lawyer will be doing like a New Year's thing here in Vegas. So December 30th, we're doing a meet and greet in Vegas. So December 23rd, I'm doing a master class in LA, okay? December 30th, I'm doing a meet and greet in Vegas. And then I think I'm going to come to New York, okay? But so far, December 23rd and December 30th is confirmed. So December 23rd is master class in LA. And December 30th, we'll be doing something in Vegas, me and the biz lawyer. Want to have a call with you over this week? Absolutely. I will let you choose. Ooh, he gonna let me choose. He should give to the lady who yes. Okay, look, somebody chose for us. Soon good too. So Coach Jean, we I'm in LA. I need that. Absolutely. DM me the word LA and we'll send you over the details. If you guys want to meet me in LA, DM the word LA and we'll send you guys a detail. Just pick someone live. New York, I'll be there. I love the biz lawyer. Absolutely. That's my business bestie, y'all. My daughter owns a lounge there. Nice. Let's give it to that lady that lost her parent. Yes. Okay, perfect. Elizabeth Mann. Elizabeth Mann. Be sure that you inbox Coach Jean Austin. Okay? And he's going to do a free consultation with you. Actually, Coach Jean, if you're available tomorrow to go live, we should jump on live tomorrow. We should definitely jump on live tomorrow. But Elizabeth Mann, you have been, y'all, it's a full circle. What did I just tell Elizabeth? What did I just tell Elizabeth? Y'all see how God is moving? Let's do it. What time? Usually I try, tomorrow is Thursday. I know there's something on my schedule for Thursday. What was I supposed to do? Thursday. Oh, okay. I got a team here. So probably like around 3 o'clock, Coach Jean. Probably around 3 p.m. my time. Is it a virtual event or in person in Vegas? In person. The only thing that we do in virtual is a 5-day black print. The LA event is in person. The Vegas event is going to be in person. The New York event is going to be in person. Everything is going to be in person. Okay, oh guys, thank you. I appreciate you all on here. I am in tears. Yes, Coach Jean, absolutely. Yeah, but what did I just tell Elizabeth? What did I just tell her? I tell y'all, when y'all blessed and highly favored, okay, things will start to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Elizabeth, make sure you reach out to Coach Jean. He got you covered. Coach Jean, let's do probably like 3 p.m. tomorrow. I will be there in Vegas. Thank you. Absolutely. December 30th. As of right now, the date that we have is December 30th for Vegas. This is my testimony. Absolutely. Your test done turned into your testimony. If you did not share that with us, wow, y'all. I hope she's still, yeah, she's still here. I'm here until the end. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I gotta run. Text me to make sure I'm free. I will take care of the lady. Okay, amazing. Much love to you all. I will give her my Chat GPT course too. Whoa, look at you, Coach Jean. Wow. Elizabeth, I'm going to need you to take advantage of that. Like, I don't think you understand who Coach Gene is. Okay, that's a powerful man over there. Okay? I need you to make sure that you take advantage of that. That's, y'all, that is so mind-blowing to me. That is so mind-blowing to me. I just said to Elizabeth, let your test be your testimony. And then look what happened. Focus on you until the focus is on you. Don't allow life to life you. And then Coach Gene jumps in the chat and blesses her with a free consultation and his Chat GPT course. I need to go take that course too. Woo, Elizabeth, girl. Thank you. I can't. You are sent all for the Lord. You are kidding me. I'm in. Yep. I am all in. God makes no. Woo! Coach Gene said it. God makes no mistake. Absolutely, he makes no mistake. Elizabeth, you was meant to be on this Zoom today. This live today. You was meant to be here. You was meant to be here. Woo-hoo, y'all. All right, Coach Gene, I'm gonna send you a text. Thank you. Prayers answer, Elizabeth. Look at God. Absolutely. And you wanna see you go live later because he is dope. God is good all the time. I need to take the course too. Absolutely. And you know what I'm gonna do? Well, let me see what Coach Gene do first before I put that out there. Because I'm gonna help you get that minority certificate. So I want to see what Coach Gene is gonna do first. So if he's just giving a consultation, that's cool. I don't know if he's going to offer to do the minority certificate for you. But if he doesn't, I'll do it. I'm sure he will give me a discount. I will pay for it. So Coach Gene will give you the consultation. He will give you the course on ChatGPT. And if he does not offer to do the minority certificate for you, I'll pay for it. I have that conversation with him and I'll pay for it. That's my gift to you. I have been watching you all day and it is the first time ever seeing you. And what's funny is that I told the Lord I want her to be my coach, and look, wow. Well, welcome. That is crazy. Wow. No, so it's a minority certificate. So where she can start to get like government contracts and really grow and scale her business to multi-million-dollar business. So like the MWEB, the MWBE certificate, the WB certificate, all the LGBTQ certificate, but it's for her to be able to get government contracts. So she doesn't have to operate as the prime. She can also operate as a sub. Yeah, she was meant to be on this live, y'all. She was meant to be on this live. All right, y'all. I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. I will jump on live tomorrow with Coach Gene. I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys so much. Elizabeth, we are here with you. We are here for you. We pray that your journey becomes a lot easier. Just take some time to yourself and let's make it work. Oh, yes, I need that. So happy for her. Yes, me too. I will definitely be on. Amazing. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys so much. Don't forget to get your 5-day black print. Link is in the bio. If you want to make it out to LA, DM me the word LA and we'll send you guys out the information. I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys so much. As a reminder, bosses build business credit. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night, guys.